We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.
I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. Welcome to the Black Excellence and Abundance Channel. Before we start this next video presentation, we'd like to send a special shout out to one of our very first subscribers. This brother has been with us from day one, and that's Perspicacity. He has a lot of great music on his channel, so please check out his channel. And again, we'd like to thank you very much, brother, because he's been with us from day one. Again, that's Perspicacity. And it's spelled Perspicacity. Thank you, brother. I love his channel. Please check him out. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, Malcolm X. Frederick Douglass. George Washington Carver. Harriet Tubman. And Rosa Parks. These aforementioned people are some of the most iconic Black figures in history. They have revolutionized the world. But one thing that we like to point out on this channel is that there are so many other unsung Black heroes. People who have made great contributions to our struggle and to the progress of Black people. And on this channel, we are committed to bringing some of those little known people who've made great contributions to our struggle. People who we should know, as well as we know the other icons mentioned. So we present to you one of those people, Mr. O.W. Gurley. Atowa W. Gurley, a.k.a. O.W., was a turn of the 20th century Black educator, entrepreneur, and landowner who was born to former enslaved Africans. In 1889, after resigning from a position held with the Grover Cleveland presidential administration, O.W. moved from his home state of Arkansas to Perry, Oklahoma, in order to participate in the Oklahoma land grab of 1889. We actually touched on Mr. O.W. Gurley in our video, How Wealthy Was Black Wall Street? We will be doing a series on the people who established Black Wall Street throughout the country. Our philosophy is, if they did it then, we can do it now. For they indeed laid the groundwork. So, we will be highlighting some of the players who established Black Wall Street throughout the nation, and in particular, the most popular ones in Oklahoma, and we will touch on the ones in North Carolina as well. Mr. Gurley, with his wife Emma, relocated to Tulsa to seize economic opportunities resulting from the city's multiracial population boom. Once there, O.W. purchased a 40-acre tract of undeveloped land where he built a grocery store on a dirt road that ran just north of the train tracks which traveled through the city. So you see, the 40 acres where Black Wall Street was established was purchased by this great entrepreneur, Mr. O.W. Gurley. Mr. Gurley later forged a partnership with fellow black businessman John the Baptist Stratford, also known as JB, with whom he shared a general distrust of white people. Both men chose to go by their initials instead of their first names. This action was a form of silent protest because men in the South were customarily addressed by their surnames, while boys were called by their first names. Sadly, black male adults were often addressed by their first names by white men as a form of emasculation. By using their initials, OW and JB circumvented this practice. OW and JB occasionally held different opinions. For example, while OW subscribed to the philosophies of African American educator Booker T. Washington, JB favored the more radical views of civil rights activist W.E.B. Du Bois, as mentioned in our previous Black Wall Street video. Despite their differences, and that bears repeating again, despite their differences, the two men worked together to develop an all-black district in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which developed into Black Wall Street. These two great entrepreneurs subdivided the land into housing zones, retail lots, alleys, and streets, all of which were exclusively available to other African Americans who were fleeing lynchings and other racial horrors. We cannot overemphasize the fact that these two gentlemen established a booming, thriving economy just a few short-lived years after slavery. Just consider, after slavery, many black people had absolutely nowhere to go. And it is as if they almost created something out of nothing. And we're going to keep repeating, if they could do it then, we can do it now. We just have to find a way to do it now. Where there is a will, there is a way. After OW built several square, two-story brick boarding houses near his grocery store, he called the street on which these structures sat Greenwood Avenue, after the Mississippi town from which many of his early residents hailed. Before long, the entire area became known as Greenwood, which soon became the site for a school as well as an African Methodist Episcopal church. But OW's crowning project was the Gurley Hotel, whose high quality rivaled that of the finest white hotels in the state. A picture of his prized possession, the Gurley Hotel. This historic African Methodist Episcopal church was founded by O.W. Gurley, as stated, still stands to this day and is known as the Vernon AME Church, founded by O.W. Gurley. As hundreds of African Americans migrated to Greenwood for the oil boom, O.W. and J.B. became increasingly wealthy, with O.W. boasting a reported net worth of $150,000, which is $3.6 million adjusted for inflation today. This great pioneer and entrepreneur leveraged his fortune to launch a Black Masonic Lodge and an employment agency while bankrolling efforts to resist Black voter suppression in the state. This man was certainly a visionary. It is also worth noting that O.W. Gurley was appointed as a sheriff's deputy by the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Taking note of his success, white developers began to emulate OW and JB by purchasing plots of land located north of the railroad tracks, then selling the plots back to members of the black community. By 1905, a black doctor and a black dentist had launched practices there. The creation of more schools, several hardware stores, and a Baptist church soon followed. As segregation grew stronger, Greenwood's black business district thrived, mainly because residents fed their purchasing dollars back into the local economy. As stated in our previous video, the dollar circulated in Black Wall Street's Greenwood district anywhere from 36 to 100 times before leaving the community, making it among the most powerful ever to exist. This determined entrepreneur has set the groundwork for us to follow. And always remember, folks, where there is a will, there is a way. They did it then, and we can do it now. When we put our minds to it, there is absolutely nothing that can stop us. Nothing can stop the power of a made-up mind. The Black Excellence and Abundance Channel, where Black history is every day. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as always, never forget, thou art rich.
Yo, this is Afro, aka All Flows Reach Out, and you're listening to Built for This Network. Yes, sir. From the building, stay bomb.
Good evening. It's your man HRap. As usual, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night, depending upon the time you're listening to this. Thank you for tuning in. It's going to be a pleasure to deliver the information I have to you. As you know, I start each and every one of my shows by saluting my ancestors. It's just a practice that was taught to me, so I continue it. It made sense, so I continue it. What I like to do is acknowledge, first and foremost, this is a podcast. The reason I say it's a podcast every week is because there's no such thing as you miss my show. So, if you're coming in now, if you're coming in later, and you want to hear it in its entirety, you can always go to Spreaker.com. You can click the link and come back to Spreaker.com. You can go to YouTube, Built for This Network Radio, Built for This Radio Network. You can go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, wherever you get your podcast download. It is going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And it is going to pretty much make my day to deliver this information to you this afternoon. Now, before I get started, as I stated, I'd like to acknowledge my ancestors. And what I mean by acknowledging my ancestors is I like to talk about the people or acknowledge the people or salute the people who put me in the position I'm in today, whether they have transitioned or they're still here currently with us. And what I want to do is acknowledge everybody in the Whitmore, Pollard, Turner, Battle, Cotton, Harper, Bailey, Chris Lansdowne, Liggins, Duncan, and you know me, my mother, my father, my brothers, and my sister, Will Williams, Clarence, we in the building. Unlike most of my shows, I gave this show a direct title. It's called Crossroads. I usually just say what it is and move forward. This week I'm not going to do it that way. It's called Crossroads because our community is at a crossroads, right? And the reason I say we're at a crossroads is because it's time for us to we have to make a lot of decisions that may be uncomfortable at the end of the day. And the reason I'm saying it's time for us to do that is this. A lot of people have taken us for granted. They overlook us. And we're being marginalized at an alarming pace. But we don't acknowledge that. And before I get into everything, what I'm going to do is this. I am going to play this speech from a show called American Gods. It's going to be uncomfortable for some. But as you listen to the show, you'll understand why I played it. So before I get started, I'm going to tune this up a little bit, and then we're going to go to the speech, and I'll be right back.
Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, a man got fucked. That's the story of black people in America. Shit, you all don't know you black yet. You think you just people. Let me be the first to tell you that you are all black. The moment these Dutch motherfuckers set foot here and decided they white, and you get to be black, and that's the nice name they call you, let me paint a picture of what's waiting for you on the shore. You arrive in America, land of opportunity, milk and honey, and guess what? You all get to be slaves, split up, sold off, and worked to death. The lucky ones get Sunday off to sleep and fuck and make more slaves and all for what? For cotton, indigo, for a fucking purple shirt. The only good news is the tobacco your grandkids are gonna farm for free is gonna give a shitload of these white motherfuckers cancer. And I ain't even started yet. 100 years later, you're fucked. 100 years after that, fucked. 100 years after you get free, you still getting fucked out of job and shot at by police. You see what I'm saying? This guy gets it. I like him. He's getting angry. Angry is good. Angry gets shit done.
I'm back. And as I stated, I knew that would make some people uncomfortable. That was a speech from a show called American Gods by our brother Lando Jones, which at the end of the day got him kicked off the show. They asked him to write something. This man was talking to slaves, to people, for Africans who were about to be enslaved. And people didn't like he shouldn't be so angry. And as he stated, anger gets things done. So when you're talking about things like that, there is no comfortable way to talk about what our ancestors were about to face as they were on a ship on their way to America, right? And what does that have to do with what we're dealing with today? You may ask. What does that have to do with anything? A lot of us don't realize that that's what we're going through right now. What he described is what we're going through now. You're just comfortable. At the end of the day, you're a human being that's being marginalized, dehumanized, and disrespected, and for the profit of a criminal enterprise called the United States of America. You may not like it. You may not like the way I delivered it. But as he stated in that soliloquy of chaos, so to speak, that's what's going on. And it's really not up to you to be comfortable with it. You should take it and move forward and attempt to make a difference, right? And what are you willing to sacrifice? Because what happened after that is the Africans that were on that ship that were about to be converted into slaves, they bust out of the chains, and it was a fracas, right? I'm not asking anybody to run in the streets, create some type of war. What I am attempting to do is say, hey, let's break the chains of our minds and move forward. I stated this 2 weeks ago. Most of the people who will hear my voice this evening or tomorrow or at any point you listen to this show, you're not really prepared to, nor are you going to consider moving out of the United States of America, right? It's just not an option. I'm going to bring some information to you to make you realize what you're facing. The first thing is this. We must get into a position of all things are permissible, but are they beneficial? Meaning, you can say and do whatever you like and want to do. But if you want to make a better life for your younger cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your neighbors' children, your grandchildren, friends, or what have you, is what you're doing beneficial? And you have to present yourself with that question every day as you move throughout the United States of America, right? Everything is permissible, but is it beneficial? And it leads me to this saying that has become wildly popular and wildly useless: chasing the bag. I'm trying to chase the bag. What are you willing to do to chase the bag? Are you willing to denigrate your history, your family, and make yourself look like a buffoon for the bag? Because a lot of people are. Anybody who knows me knows I'm an avid hip-hop fan. Hip-hop is the music of my youth. It became wildly popular. It was starting to become popular when I was about 10. By the time I was 18, when I say we, I mean hip-hop culture, because I still consider myself part of hip-hop culture. We started to take over the world. It was a joke being put into McDonald's commercials, and I found that offensive. And now you can't have a commercial. You can barely have a commercial without hip-hop music. But when I was coming up, it was about reality. It was about awakening people to social issues, and it was about fun and competition. The battle rap was fun and competition. The awakening was X-Clan, Poe Righteous Teachers, Brand Nubian, KRS-One, and others, Big Daddy Kane. So then came along what is called gangster rap. And I know you guys thinking, yeah, NWA. Nope. NWA was reality. NWA was reality. Ghetto Boys were reality. Just Ice and DMX were reality. Cool G Rap, that was reality. That was the reality of the things that they were seeing. At no point did they brag and say that they did those things. At no point did they glorify those things. At no point did they make it seem like it was cool. They didn't even know if they were going to get paid for making some of those songs. They were speaking from their heart. Well, I should say the early days of NWA. I should say the early days of NWA. As Ice Cube left, they turned to what they thought would sell, and they sold. And it made them rich. Well, it made Eazy-E rich. And then it was off to the races. I'm going to dress like NWA. I'm going to tell the stories of my neighborhood. I'm going to pretend that I was some super drug kingpin and blah, blah, blah. And then we allowed corporate entities to enter, and that's when the chasing of the bag began, right? And if that's your reality, or if that's the story you want to tell, it's not a problem. Tell that story. Let the world know what your reality is. But guess what? How many people were drug kingpins selling keys and ounces and hundreds of millions of dollars and say, you know what? This lavish drug dealer Scarface life ain't for me anymore. What I want to do is work for Polygraph, Def Jam, or Priority, and get screwed out of most of my profits, and then I'll be happy. It really doesn't make sense. You go from standing outside, taking penitentiary chances and life chances, to jumping around on stage, rapping about it, and indicting yourself. This is where the chasing of the bag concept manifests itself and makes you look like a damn fool. It really does. So, are you willing to make yourself look foolish for money? I would hope not. I'm not. And this is probably why I'm on Spreaker. And it's probably why I'll never be a millionaire from this. Because the money ain't that important to me. I'll continue to build my audience as I've done. I'll continue to grow and grow and grow, but I'll never be as big as some, because the truth is more important than the facade of being rich and living a lavish life. We all want to have nice things, but it's just about what you're willing to do to get it. And the reason this came to me this week is because I've watched several things on television, and I hear people talk all the time, and I talk to people all the time. And people are willing to look like damn fools for money. And people will justify almost anything with, I'm getting paid for it though. And at what point do you say, nah, I'm not willing to cross that bridge? I don't understand it anymore. You know, we have adults. We have people who are 35, 30 and older. Because I'll let you slide with the I was young manifesto until about 30. Once you cross 30, no more of that. We're not going to do that anymore. And you got people 30 plus going, but he got paid. You would do it for the money, which lets you know we live in a society of people of African descent who've crossed right over into, you've walked right into slavery. You have walked right into slavery, and you have put yourself in a situation to whereas you're comfortable being dominated. You're comfortable being subjugated. And you're comfortable allowing people to strip you of everything that you once held in high esteem. And it bothers me. And then, not only does that bother me, the fact that you don't want to acknowledge what you're seeing in front of you. The easiest target in America at this point is these people who call themselves Trump supporters that are from our community. I really can't address anybody else because I don't know what's going on. But when you see people being destroyed on camera, and you see a man in front of the world pretty much say, hey, whatever, and you start having a singular focus on what you're talking about. And don't get me wrong, man, I understand. Look, I have 2 children myself, and they're young adults now. And you pretty much do what you have to do to make sure they eat. And I understand that. But you know what? At no point in modern history do you have to make yourself look like a damn fool just to put food on the table. You can bust your ass and be at a regular job and do that. You know, you have to do what you have to do. But you don't have to stand in front of the world and repeat ignorance and sound like a damn fool just to put food on your table. you know. And then you got the second layer of people, these woke guys. You know, they're the smartest guys in the room at most point. And one way to identify food is to look for the guy who's speaking as if he has it all figured out, as he owes you $15, $20, or as he lives in a worse place than you do, as he drives a worse car than you, as he has less than life on every level than you, but he's smarter than you. And he's calling other people stupid, not knowing that you and some of those people he's calling stupid, he or she is calling stupid, have some of the same beliefs, because he's so smart that he or she didn't even take the time to understand who you were before he started to speak. That woke guy, you gotta love him. You have to love him. And then the next group of people are the people who stuck in between. Look, man, I'm just trying to survive. But more than likely, that person who's just trying to survive, they have too much pride to be stupid. And when I say stupid, I mean stupid, because Dr. King once said the worst thing in the world is to be, what did he say? I lost my train of thought with that. Conscientiously stupid, to be conscientiously ignorant, or abject stupidity. Worst two things in the world to be, because you're just ignoring what you need to know in order to do what you want to do and get to where you think you need to be. And what I mean by that is this. We are walking around as if America is playing fair. And it's not. It never has been fair. It never will be fair. And day before yesterday is the crown jewel of gotcha, if you ask me. Thanksgiving. They tell you that the pilgrims came over here and they got together with the natives, and the natives taught them these things and blah, blah, blah. And everything turned into America. Conveniently omitting that the people who came over here on those boats infected these people and destroyed them in that manner. And then flat out destroyed them in other matters as well. Period. And then they proceeded to walk from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, destroying everything in their path. And then they got you believing in this thing called the United States Constitution, and everything's going to be fair. Everybody who does not look like them either have been destroyed, or not even annihilated, destroyed. They want to strip you of your being. They want to strip you of everything that's you. You even had, at one point, they would put these people in what is called Indian schools. They openly said, we no longer want to kill the Indian, the man or woman. We want to kill the Indian from inside of you. Basically, I'm going to whitewash who you are out of you and fill you with this, what they perceive as whiteness. That way you can be presentable, you can be tolerable to me. Listen to that. Imagine what that is. You have had tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of years on this continent. And because I'm not willing to accept who you are, I'm going to get rid of all of that. And I'll put you in school so you can be more like me and less like you. That's what went on in this country. And then, as you get older, they continue to sell you these holidays and this propaganda, and you continue to buy into it. And then at one point in history, I'm not going to go through every step of it, they start saying, okay, things are getting better now. We're getting along better. We're a nation divided. And then recently, they told you that the president of the United States made things bad, which is one of the stupidest lies I've ever heard in my life. You know, if you're going to lie to me, make it believable. And then the latest in the stupid lies is this. We've turned the corner again because we elected Joe Biden and a woman, African-American woman, Indian woman. And, you know, wow, we're there now. We're back on track. 73,400,000 people voted for Donald Trump. This dude is an open liar. From my perspective, he's an open racist. He's everything that they claim we've moved past. Every single solitary thing that they claim we moved past, he is that. He is the dictionary definition of that. And he is not the cause of this. He's a symptom of this. If you have anything that resembles awareness, you realize that this dude, this whole movement in the last 4 years came about really 12 years ago. When they elected Barack Hussein Obama to be president of the United States, all those people who used to quietly hate us and pretend to be our friends in office, and some of them still, well, if we were still in offices, a lot of them would still be pretending to be our friends. There you go, we're cool, but that's not it. That's really not it, man. That's really not it. The truth is, 74 million people, 73,400,000 people would rather have you living with their boot on your neck than to be looking you eye to eye. And that's the truth. This has zero to do with Donald Trump or anything else the entertainment news is feeding to you. It has zero to do with it. This has been going on for at least 240 some odd years. Period. This has been going on this way. Every time, you can even go to the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Independence charges King George of England, Great Britain, or whatever, any place you want to call it, same place, of riling up the Indians for what does he call it? Insurrection. They call it insurrection because they were riling up the Indians and the black folks. Because at this point in history, England has stopped having people in bondage. Because there was a brother over there, he took them to task. They realized that they had no laws on the books that stated that people who looked like you and I were supposed to be in bondage. So they let it go. And King George realized, okay, if I could get the black people and the Indians to turn on these clowns, then what I'll do is retake over the continent and we'll be back in business. Period. But see, they don't teach you that in school, but all you have to do is go to YouTube. See, you don't even have to read anymore. You go to YouTube and look up the reading of the Declaration of Independence. And you'll hear it. And insurrection is the stirring up other people, right? So even back then, they were saying, these people who don't look like us, we can't have them stirred up. Because if they stir up, it's not enough of us to fight off all of them. And then we'll be in a situation in which we have to compete against them. And it's not like these people from England are honorable people, because those people who just north of the border, when people like to glorify, they ran to Canada, and then Canadian people discriminated against us as well. So my point is, that was the beginning of the documented country, and it's today. 240 years later, it's still going on, right? So 244 years to be exact, but who's counting, right? So let's stop with this nonsense that we're in a better place, because we're not. You're in a better place when Donald Trump or someone of that same ilk gets 40 million votes out of a possible 140 million. You know what I mean? If he gets, that's when we're in a better place. But when you win by 3 million votes, nah, man. Especially in a situation like COVID, no. You're in the exact same place you were in 1776, 1876, and 1976. Seriously. And in 2076, you might still be in the same place. And that's what made me broach this topic. It's time to wake the hell up, man. It really is. Willful ignorance and conscientious stupidity can no longer be the order of the day. Well, I ain't know that. But you know all the words to Young Jeezy. Well, I ain't know that. But you know everybody on Housewives since 1600s. We cannot live in that fashion anymore. Oh, man, I'm just dealing with this the way I can. No. No more surviving. It's time to start living, people. And again, man, I'm not asking you to raise up against the government and get your guns ready and we're going to kill these rappers. No, I'm not doing that. That's not what I'm doing. What I am doing is this. What I am doing is saying, hey, man, stop walking around with these damn blinders over your face. When you're getting slapped in the face every day and people are giving you these half-ass apologies, but if your sister, your brother, your homeboy, your homegirl, your girlfriend, your boyfriend did anything close to the amount of disrespect that you receive from the dominant culture, you would stop talking to them forever. Oh, I can't believe you did this to me. I'm done with you. Don't you ever say anything to me again, and walk away. And brag to people how I don't accept nonsense. But when the dominant culture does this to you, when white America does something to you, you mad at Gucci for 6 weeks. And then you start buying things that you shouldn't be trying to purchase anyway. Or like, Burt Bees. Burt Bees insulted the hell out of Black America this week, and most people don't even know about it. Burt Bees is a company that puts out a myriad of goods from lip gloss to PJs. Because one is on the horizon, they put out an ad, maybe 2 weeks ago. Well, I don't know how long ago. I got wind of it 2 weeks ago. This ad had a white couple, 2 kids, even had a dog. Woman, man, kids, dog. Put PJs, striped PJs. Then you got an Asian couple. Woman, man, 2 kids in the same PJs. Then you had a Latino looking couple. Woman, man, 2 kids. It's the family structure, right? Then they got a sister with 2 kids, no man. And see, it's a bunch of jackasses that'll hear this. And I mean jackasses. And if you never listen again, I'm glad. Because I'm no longer pulling punches. If I offend you, good. The black woman has 2 kids and no man. And then it's a doofus that's going to hear this somewhere, somehow, and they're going to say, well, statistically, the black man and the black woman don't get married and blah, 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 blah. Well, that person won't follow those statistics up with, statistically, in the United States of America, black men are twice as likely to interact with their children than any other culture in the country. So, and I do believe, if you go down to child support, it's a bunch of non-black people down there filing for child support, deadbeat dads as well. And if you want to talk to me about the black man not marrying the black woman, if more than 50% of the marriages in America end in divorce, it's a bunch of y'all out there that just spent $10,000 to have a prom when you were an adult. So, if you are going to address other cultures and say, hey, this is a family structure, don't insult my folks. And see, it's come time for us to stop overlooking these offenses. Because they are offenses. Period. If you are willing to allow someone to insult you or your culture, that's cool. but I'm not up with it, man. It does not make sense to me. That goes again. I'm gonna keep saying what Dr. King said: willful ignorance and conscientious stupidity. You want to pretend that this is just an oversight? Do you understand how many people that went down the pipe with in order to be on an ad? You go to any CVS, you'll see Burt Bees, and you won't see people who look like me and you, but they want us to give you our money. You must understand this colonial mind state that you have been woven into. You've been braided into this situation, and you don't even realize it because you want to look at the world through rose-colored glasses, like everybody's cool, and it's not that many people who are diametrically opposed to the fact that you are still breathing today. They want you dead, you know. And then like this whole, what is the Proud Boys, and all these neo-Nazis, new Nazis, that's all neo is, Latin for new, neo-Nazi organizations, these hate groups that's coming out, we gonna get y'all. Most black people live in metropolitan areas or cities. It's black people scared to come to Chicago. You think a bunch of white boys in pickup truck gonna roll up on the south side of Chicago, or the west side of Chicago, or the part of Chicago I'm from, or the south suburbs of Chicago, the near west suburbs of Chicago? Not gonna happen. The west side of Atlanta? Not gonna happen. Liberty City, Florida? Not gonna happen. Jacksonville, Jackson, Mississippi? Not gonna happen. Dallas, Texas, Houston, Texas? Not gonna happen. See, they use these fear and these scare tactics. They go where there's very few of us and they act the fool. No. It's not gonna happen. This ain't the 20s when you knew the whole system was against you and you had to tread lightly. Even though, if you go look up the book, We Shoot Back, it lets you know that we've never been a group of cowards. We've never been cowering to anything. But again, that's the foolishness that you were taught in social studies. Oh yeah, you know, you had to, and then you get people on TV. Oh yeah, we had to get off the sidewalk, and if it was some white people coming, you had to, yeah. Some of those were the laws, but you need to start looking into your history. You'll find out how many people stood up and were ready to fight and had no problems with killing anybody who stood in their way. And because you don't know that don't mean that the people who are diametrically opposed to you don't understand that. And until you understand your power, you will be subjected to the tyranny of your enemy as long as you live. Period. Again, this isn't a call to arms. This isn't, hey man, we got to get these crackers. No, it's not that. What it is, do you realize that 80% of the things, internet included, the thing that you listen to me on, black person. Cell phone, black person. A lot of you guys, I look at the numbers. A lot of y'all listen on your Android phone or your iPhone to the network. Not just my show, to the network. So, if a lot of us are listening via a cell phone and a lot of us are listening via the internet, and those things were created by somebody who looked like you, then you realize the power that you hold in this country. If you were talking about how proud you were and how dope your culture was, somebody walked up to you and said, you need to go back to Africa. You know what you could simply say to shut that person the hell up? Not a problem. I'll go back to Africa. If you and the people who look like you and the people who control the United States federal government give us the money, including the interest on everything we invented and the patents, give us our money, we'll find someplace to go. And that argument is terminated at that point. Then that's why they hate you, because they understand I cannot survive without these people. Frontline workers. Look, most of the frontline workers in the United States of America dealing with a pandemic look like me and you. People that look like me and you reared their children. People that look like me and you cook their foods. People that look like me and you are security guards. Every walk of life, we're there. Walk up to somebody that's not from our culture, ask them what their favorite movie is, just like Pino, and do the right thing. Spike Lee pulls him to the side. Mookie, played by Spike Lee, pulls him over to the side. Who's your favorite basketball player? Magic Johnson. Who's your favorite comedian? Eddie Murphy. Who's your favorite this? A black person, a black person, a black person. They not niggas, right? Remember, that's what he said. They're not niggas, though. So, but they busy hating us. And I will continue to use this analogy. You would not chase a man or woman if they told you no. No, I don't want to be bothered with you anymore. Your feelings will be hurt for a little while. But most human beings with good sense will walk away from that person and say, hey, I'll bid you adieu. The people who control this country for 240 plus years have been telling us, get the hell out of our face. And we keep adjusting how we live in accordance to what they want. I'm going to say something. It's somebody they're going to flinch when I say this. Ain't got no. No, that's improper English. So basically, you're so colonized that you will refuse to understand exactly what I'm talking about, but you want to correct me and tell me there's a proper way to speak. All I want to know is, how did these brothers and sisters who come from these small rural towns get loans from these banks after showing them how much money they can make? And I'm sure they were saying ain't got no, infinita, and things of that nature that we say every day, because we took that language from the southern part of the country and moved to the northern part of the country and the western part of the country, and people got business loans and things of that nature, and they were country and they were unsophisticated and things of that nature. To quote again Michael Eric Dyson, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X spoke the king's English to the queen's taste, and guess what they got? Bullets to their head. So you can be as eloquent as Dr. King, as charismatic as Malcolm X, or as radical as Huey P. Newton, and you'll get the exact same fate. So why not galvanize the community, move forward, and support each other? Now, that leads me to another point, the support. Stop screaming about the lack of support when everybody has the exact same idea. Hey, bro, if you have something that looks exactly like what's hot, don't change a letter and think you created something. That's copyright infringement. If you're not a creative, find a creative and support that creative. Or they ain't buy my t-shirts. Because damn it, I live in Chicago and it's November. What the hell do I need with a t-shirt? They ain't buy my plates. And you got food slopped into the little container and it's not looking like it's edible. Presentation is everything, right? And then simultaneously, you are Facebook Raheem fighting the power on the internet every day, and then you want people to support you, and you don't support a damn person. Some of the people who listen to me right now are about to be offended, and if you don't listen, man, I'm good with that. I appreciate it support up until this point, but you know what? I'm taking the gloves off. I'm shooting straight. Don't send me another woke text. Don't inbox me another woke nothing. Because I don't give a damn. Because you woke cats don't support nothing. Y'all just complain without answers. I don't want to know about the next conspiracy theory unless you have a way to combat it. Because guess what? If you're sending it to me because you consider me an intelligent enough dude to fight it off, that means more than likely I know about it. If I'm as intelligent as you assume, I know about it. Don't tell me about it. I'm tired. Don't send me that shit no more, man. Excuse my language. Sorry, Reverend Dodd. Sorry, Reverend Dang. And anybody else I offended with the profanity. You know, I'm trying to cut back, but you know, sometimes it takes you there, man. So don't send me no more of that foolishness, man. I don't care. The boogeyman is coming, and look, he gonna get me, okay? Because I'm over here trying to educate folks, trying to enlighten folks, and trying to bring folks to the light. And contrary to popular belief, I'm trying to provide solutions. I'm not just woofing every week, because I can have a whole conversation with myself. Trust and believe, I talk that much. I can talk to myself and get mad answers and not deal with anybody. I was a latchkey kid. Spent a lot of time alone. I'm cool with being alone. This week, one of our favorite entertainers stepped out in front of the world. And you know what? He inspired this show. He inspired Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle did this thing on YouTube, about 18, 19 minutes long. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. And he talks about how the system is working against him. And basically he's saying, I'm a creative, and the people who are in charge are not playing fair. What annoyed me about this had nothing to do with the brother Dave Chappelle. Salute to the brother Chappelle. What annoyed me is this. You had colonized minds standing up saying, well, he signed a contract. Just like y'all did with Megan Thee Stallion earlier this year. If you have taken on the mentality of the colonizer or the oppressor or the shyster or the criminal, then you have been corrupted to the point that you are no use to our community. If you can understand how a hungry young man with a child and a wife, somebody offered him more money than he never seen in his life, and he turns to an attorney, and the attorney say it's a good deal, and the people at the table saying it's a good deal, and you struggling, and it turns out that it wasn't a good deal, and they were in cahoots. How this is wrong, and I don't want to hear about what you should have known, because guess what? A lot of y'all doing things today that you should have known about that could lead to your demise. As you face your demise, do you want somebody to walk up to you and say, hey man, I know you got heart failure, but all that Kool-Aid and sugar and sweet potato pie and dressing you was eating on them Thanksgivings, that's why you about to die. You're not trying to hear that. You may muster up enough energy to choke that person. So, don't be such a backseat driver or this hindsight 2020 type person. Well, see, if he would have looked into it, yeah, well, why ain't you successful yet? Because you seem to be the smartest guy in the room every time something like this comes about. So why are you poor again? Everybody know that. Well, since everybody know that, why don't you walk the earth like Cain from Kung Fu to inform people? Because you don't know nothing. All you doing is parroting something that you heard somebody else say. What was Dave Chappelle wrong in his ignorance? Opportunity for you to get out of all your bad situations? No. But when you are in power, when you don't know, shout out to Karen Hunter and Dr. Greg Carr. When you are a person who can't make anything, but you have the means to disseminate anything that has been created to the public, but you can't make anything, maybe you should be playing fair, because at the end of the day, you have the vehicle and I have the gas. Because you got a car and no gas, you go nowhere without me. And if I know how to drive and I have the gas, I will even split this 60-40 with you. You can even get 60% of it because you got the car and you got the money. Only thing I know how to do is drive. But guess what? It's going to come a time where I learn how to, I get enough money to buy my own car. Then what? You go rape somebody else. Oh, see, he should have learned from this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy. Yeah. The very next time you're faced with a mistake, I need you to keep that same energy, because I've never met one human being on the face of the earth that at their demise, or at the moment that they realize that they've been screwed, or they learned that they've been screwed, turned around and said, I'm glad I got screwed. Lesson learned. Carry on. No, you are upset. And maybe Dave, because he's in a financial position, or Megan the Stallion, because she's in a strong enough financial position to say, move on. Maybe they're speaking out so you won't get screwed. Because we've come to a place in the United States of America that everybody's trying to get over. But guess what? When you get over on me for that $50 and the next 10 people for that $50, you got $500, $1,000, and you're doing better than me. But now I want to deal with you. And you may have lost an ally. And it's insane. Why? I want to hear this nonsense about hurting people. You're taking advantage of people. Just like the people who took advantage of the Africans on the coast when they manipulated their slavery practices. They thought, I'm not going to get into that because I played it before the show before, so you already know. If you start manipulating people, you are no better than the people who you are angry for manipulating you. Stop the bleeding. You cannot complain about a system of pimps and hoes when you are saving your money to get a pimp suit. You're waiting to screw someone, and instead of healing yourself and saying, you know what, rap is killing it and I got screwed, I'm gonna help rap blow and bubble. What you do is get in line. No disrespect to Diddy. You get in line and take the same contract that screwed all the guys at Motown that complain, all the guys that Astor that complain, all the guys at all these other places, Russell Simmons, what's his name? Russell Simmons, Suge Knight, and all these dudes who they get these $1 million deals, and instead of playing fair, this is standard contract, but you know it's wrong. As the brother Chappelle stated, the contract says I can use your name and image into perpetuity. That's forever. Who the hell signs a contract like that? Knowingly. And I listen to a lot of interviews and I listen to a lot of these entertainers. And I'll be honest with you, so partially it's because I like to know about people, and the other part is I'm trying to get better at this. So I listen to other interviews. Listen to Fonte from Lil Brother. For those who don't know, Lil Brother is a rap group. Listen to Fonte from Lil Brother. And he said on that second album, the reason they didn't get the publicity, wait till you hear this. We didn't get the publicity and support we needed because we didn't need the record label. We produced, mixed, and mastered our album with the artwork and gave it to them. So they didn't put the full force of the record label behind them. So basically, because I couldn't charge you for studio time, I couldn't charge you for food, I couldn't charge you for all the amenities that most people go into the studio and do, the smoking weed and the drinking and the food and the video money and all this. You didn't let me put you in a trick bag, so we're not gonna put the full force behind the record label, and then you're done. So because we couldn't pimp you, you will not get the support and you will crumble and be destroyed. But here's the catch to it. Brother Chappelle is making inroads to get things taken care of. But here's the deal for us, whether it be entertainment, whether it be a corner store, whether it be a clothing line or a brand, or hell, my man, I know one of the homies I grew up with, he sells barbecue sauce. We really don't need outside America. See, because what I hear my brothers and sisters say all the time is this. We need to be together like this group of people. or we need to be together like that group of people. We are the minority. You know why you say that? Because somebody told you were a minority and you believed it. There are 44 million people who look like me and you that walk the face of the United States of America, right? 44 million people that look like me and you that are citizens of the United States of America, and they tell you you're a minority. Check this out. Within the next 10 years, 10 or 15 years, there will be more Nigerians in Nigeria than on the entire continent of Europe. You hear me? Now, most countries only have 44 million people in it. Most countries are not as big as the United States of America. So, how many Irish people in the United States of America? Who knows? Next week I have an answer for you. How many Greek people? French, Portuguese, so forth and so on. Not many. My man John Leguizamo was on Real Time Bill Maher, and he said, hey man, y'all gonna have to start paying attention to the Latinx community, because it's 32 million of us registered to vote. It's only 30 million black people, and Latinx includes all the countries in South America, all the countries in Central America, all the countries in the Caribbean, all the countries, and it also includes Mexico, and the people here in the United States of America. So you got like 8 or 9 countries, and the people who are in this country that make up a group of people that are registered to vote, and there are only 32 million of them registered to vote. But it's 44 million of us. I bet you it's not 44 million French people in the United States of America. I bet you it's not 44 million Jewish people in the United States of America. I bet you it's not 44 million Italians in the United States of America. So how the hell are we the minority? If they keep telling us that we drive the market, so that means when we got behind the Air Jordan brand, the whole world followed us and got behind the Air Jordan brand. That means when we got behind the Nike brand, the whole world got behind the Nike brand, and we made them billionaires. When we over-index on social media, we over-index on TV. There was a study done about 6 years ago that showed black people watch more TV than anybody in the world. All of a sudden, Shonda Rhimes is the hottest thing on ABC. All of a sudden, it's a resurgence of black people on TV. You know why? Because the way to make money is to target these people who will over-index on Amazon.com, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook. More money was spent on the internet this Black Friday than last Black Friday. Obviously because of the pandemic and you in the house, but guess what? If, my man, somebody just put in there about how much money Jeff Bezos got. If we start shopping with going to shopwithAblackgirl.com, it's a sister that run that, and she highlight other black women's businesses. And we start listening to HRap show and over-index on him, and then Coke and Pepsi start coming to us, and McDonald's start coming to me. Guess what? Our network expands. Now all of a sudden, I always wanted a podcast. Let me reach out to Rap. Let me reach out to Knox and see if they want to put me on. And now it's a trickle down feature. Now all of a sudden, we expand and you expand. We made the whole look. Remember this: every rapper in the world start wearing football jerseys. Football jersey sales goes through the roof. This one rapper by the name of Jay-Z said, "I want a fresh pair of jeans, they can button up." All of a sudden, everybody walking around with Oxford shirts and blue jeans. All of a sudden, one of the rappers said square toe shoes. Everybody started wearing square toe shoes. Hip hop has naturally been inclined, fashion inclined to the athletic apparel. The athletic apparel went through the roof. If you my age, it was a point in your life that your mother would not allow you to wear sneakers every day. Yeah, could not. I used to the day she died, my mother teased me about leaving her house with a book bag, with a duffel bag, stopping at the corner of Cedric and Blackhawk, taking off my penny loafers at the time, putting on my sneakers and walking to the bus stop. She said she used to laugh and shake her head every day. And then I would have to stop on the bench at North Avenue and Cedric every day, put my shoes back on. If I came home late, put my shoes back on to walk in the house with shoes because I was not allowed to wear sneakers every single day. And I quote, why are you wearing gym shoes every day? You ain't in gym every day. Period. So, if we stop buying, just imagine if we went and got, if we supported sneaker brands that look like us. Just imagine. Just imagine. Just imagine. Just imagine if you did that. You would set the market. You wouldn't have to ask anyone for anything. Everybody, well, wait a minute. We need to talk to you about that because Jeff Bezos set the market. Jeff Bezos said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to go to the store anymore. And he went out and bought everything in his way. Remember, again, I'm old enough to remember all Amazon used to sell was books. They cornered the market on books and put Barnes and Noble out of business. Next thing you know, they selling music. Secondhand music. They put the secondhand music stores out of whack. Then they started selling clothes. Then the man got rich enough to buy Whole Foods. If you over-index on yours like you do everybody else's, then people got to deal with you. Not to deal with anybody. You don't have to deal with anybody. Guess what? Amazon is starting to deliver prescription drugs. When he did that, Walgreens, CVS, and Rite Aid stock dropped 10% that day. If we gave up these iPhones and these Androids and went to Figures phones, if we over-indexed on that brother Figures would be able to hire you at a job that you don't even know exists yet. That's what I'm talking about. See, all this bickering and arguing. Just imagine. Man, that Sweet Baby Ray's is the thing. Man, that Open Pit is the thing. Or whatever you like. It's the thing. If one of these rappers said, my man, Tip 32 barbecue sauce. Do you understand in 1992, Tanqueray Gin had been trying to get into the black community for decades? Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg said Tanqueray, and we flew to the liquor stores and bought it. Cavassier sucks. The homie Busta Rhymes made a song called Pastor Cavassier. I started hanging out with the homies, seeing that nasty ass Cavassier. Disgusting. It tastes like they made it in a boot. Five years ago, Dame Dash sat on the Breakfast Club and said a lot of stuff that I'm saying currently. Everybody said he was crazy. Is he crazy? See, we got to get away from the delivery and the messaging and start focusing on the message. Dame Dash is abrasive. He's arrogant. But he's right. See, we want people to spoon feed us the medicine with a lot of sugar and some orange juice. Oh, this tastes delicious. And then we get the message. No, sometimes the message got to taste like castor oil or that 666 medicine that tastes like, well, I don't know where that mess came from. But you have to take it, suck it down, ball up your face, and be ready to fight. You see it every day, man. Last year, on this very network, I made a statement. So you know what, man? I'm tired of watching these shows and seeing these brothers who make these movies complain about Hollywood not being Hollywood not financing their movies. They got the big borrower still to get their movies. Just imagine this. If all the people who look like us that make movies went to Tyler Perry, they got together, went to Tyler Perry and said, we want to use your studios to make this movie. We need you to finance us. Eddie, Will, and these other people to finance us on this movie. It's going to cost $12 million to make this movie. You make it, get the Hollywood people to distribute it like Ice Cube should have did with Friday. And because you got these stars in it, you got these other people in it, the community is going to support it. When you say Tyler Perry a movie, brothers and sisters run to the theaters like their asses are on fire. You put it on one of these streaming services, charge $10 for it. That movie will make $400 million before you know it. The big boys in Hollywood will be coming like 40 going north to finance movies, and at that point you don't need it. My man Foots with his Tip 32 sauce, one of these athletes just said, and he just said, look, I'll cut you in. Cause see, look, you cut the man in, as Dave Chappelle eloquently told you. You cut the man in because you got the lawyer taking 30%. You got the studio taking 33%. 33 and 33%. That's 66%. What they leave you? And you are the creator of the content. Nah, it don't work like that. It does not work like that, because guess what? When Seinfeld does a TV show, and Seinfeld was getting $1 million per episode at one point. $1 million per episode. If we're going to over-indexing on things, we need to be over-indexing on scarves, gloves, socks, drawers, toilet paper, books. Sankofa.com, Black Bookstore. We need to be over-indexing on things that will help us that are in our community. Now, I'm not telling you never to support Apple. No, because if you're comfortable with Apple, that's cool. No judgment. I'm just saying, if we're going to over-index on things, over-index on things that are beneficial to you and the people who live in your community. Stop telling me about, see, when I go to a black restaurant, they got attitude. See, when I go to a black restaurant, they mess up your order. It ain't nobody living or dead that ever been to McDonald's. If you've been to McDonald's more than 5 times, they've jacked up your order. But you went back. Burger King, McDonald's. Only place I've never had my order jacked up is Chick-fil-A. And I ain't been there enough. I only been there like twice. Yeah, twice. Yeah. But if you go, I'm quite sure if I go there enough times, they going to blow my order. But you're making up excuses for why you don't want to shop. No disrespect to my man, and he know who he is. He listening. My man got mad. He's disappointed. I ain't going to say he got mad. He's disappointed in this black-owned restaurant that makes this dessert that he truly likes. And when he makes that dessert, when they make the dessert that he truly likes, every time he gets there, they sold out. He was complaining to me, see, man, this is why I don't like to shop with brothers and sisters, man, because every time I come in there for the dessert, they could just sit it to the side. Or, how about this? Mister, they always run out of my dessert. Y'all out of it today? It costs $5. Here go $10. Sit me 2 to the side. I'll be here tomorrow. Didn't want to do that, though. But, not him, but we'll order from Amazon and wait for it to get here. Because that's what you're doing. You see something online, you order it, and you wait to get it. You ain't going to get it tomorrow. So, my man, I know you're listening. Next time you go to that restaurant that you like that dessert that you was telling me about and you was complaining, that's why you don't like to shop with the bros. How about this? Pre-order it. They'll sit 2 pieces or whatever it is that you want. Get 2, get 3, get 10, or however many you want. Prepay. Come back tomorrow. Because what you're not taking in consideration is this. That's the day that you don't go. The next day that they sit it to the side is the day that you don't go that route. And it ain't nothing to you. Oh, they could have sold it. I ain't tripping. But they sitting there holding it to the side for you. And then when the customer service, the lady or the man at the register looking at you like, clown, we held it for you yesterday. Your next complaint would be, people don't know how to act. They got attitude. So the next time you go to that restaurant, Instead of getting upset, pre-order for tomorrow, come in there and get your joint, and you can go. These things are easily remedied. But if you are not willing to work with folks, you are just as bad as the people who you are upset with for mistreating you. It's simple, y'all. The music is ours. The content is ours. You complaining. Oh man, they don't make music where they used to. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh man, like the people who I'm around, avid hip hop fans, and the R&B people too. I'm gonna include y'all, the R&B and hip hop people. They don't make the music the way they used to. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But the last time I checked, when you were at the crib in the 70s and 80s and the 90s, Roberta Flack, Mary J, and Switch did not come knocking on your door saying, we got these new albums. You knew you kept up with that kind of thing and you went out and copped it. It's even easier now. You don't even have to buy the music. What you can do is go to Spotify, go to, preferably you go to Tidal, sign up with Jay-Z, and then make him a multi-billionaire, make the people who working on this IT richer, and then you can get all the music you like. But nah, it's easier to complain that the music ain't the same. They don't make music like this anymore. I've literally heard people say, as I was listening to a De La Soul album, I heard one of the homies say, man, I wish this was some of their new stuff. I wish they still made albums. Jackass, this album came out yesterday. Stop micromanaging nonsense. If you look for it, it's there. How many of y'all know D'Angelo had an album within the last 5 years? Not many. How many of y'all know Q-Tip make music? But you listen to GCI. It's WGCI, Power 105, Hot 97, Big Boy Station, and all the stations, Hot 97 down at Atlanta, and all the stations throughout the United States of America that cater to the urban ear. Do you understand? If you start complaining about the music that is being played on the radio station, they are forced to change it. For those who don't know, one woman in Michigan almost got the hottest show at the time on Fox TV taken off the air single-handedly. She used to write letters to Fox TV about Married with Children, and she used to write all the sponsors, we need this off TV. This is disgusting. She almost got the show taken off air. So if one woman can write letters to GM and Coke and Pepsi and whoever else she was writing letters to, and Fox, and almost get their hottest show taken off TV, just imagine if you addressed via social media. You don't even have to call or write a letter anymore. Create a hashtag, get all your friends and family behind it. Go to the page that's on Facebook and have all your people please go to this page and say we want better music on the hottest urban station in my community. Watch the things change. But it's easy to just laterally complain, isn't it? You don't even have to leave your phone. You don't even have to move anything but your thumbs. You can make a post on Facebook. Can you please go to the hot urban station wherever you live? And here in Chicago, it's WGCI. Can you please go to the WGCI page and tell them, stop playing that BS 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I need you to mix in some of the music I like or I'm turning. If enough of you say it, it's going to change. Exactly. My man J.A. just made a statement about Master P coming out with the fools again. But you got people that won't support Master P because he ghetto and he country and I don't like him. Unless you plan on having a baby by one of these people, you don't have to like him to support him. Now, if he was a sucker and wasn't going around for the last 25 years talking about empowering folks, and now Every time you turn around, one of his artists is praising him, and people who are not part of his camp are praising him for educating them. That was a couple years ago, I see. Like 3 years ago. That was a reference from like 3 years ago. Everybody praises this dude for being a mentor. That's the type of guy you support. But you know who you support? And no offense to nobody who listens to my show. When I say you, I'm talking about these fools. You know who you support? You support Kanye. And then you see, they should have let Kanye's whole speech play out. He said some good stuff. But when you say something wildly toxic, it turns people off. When you openly say, I don't read, you turn people, because you're speaking from a place of ignorance. And you got 50,000 people voted for this guy who supported a dude. I'm not even getting into that. But the point is, why are we supporting people who have no love for us? Again, it goes back to what Dave said. It's a pimps and hoes thing. Take that dress off, folks. You don't have to prostitute yourself to be what you want to be. We are in an age in which you can touch people. I got a homeboy, an associate. He supports me on Twitter. He from Nigeria. We trying to figure out how me and him are going to do this call so he can be on the show. Nigeria. I've had a dude from Guyana, South America on my show. You see what I'm saying? If we can link up over the Gulf of Mexico, because that's Guyana, if you don't know, it's on the northeast part of the South America. And you got a cat that's in Nigeria who's trying to be on my show because he listens every week. That's 300 million people over there. Accompanied by the 44 million people over here. Just imagine 1/2% of the people in Nigeria and America and South America. I got my man Immortal Technique from Peru on the show. 1% of those groups supporting me puts me in a position that I can give you a better show, hire more hosts, expand the Built for This Network brand. We can even come up with a flat out news program. Flat out news. Every night for 30 minutes. Built for This Network news. See, we have to start thinking about how to expand things. Because we don't need other cultures. If you are down for the cause, you're down for the cause. You really are. That's it. This is checkers, not chess. We've been met with adversarial opposition. That's home of redundancy right there. But we've been met with people opposing our growth for 400 years. So why are we supporting these entities? Burt Bees again. If you are buying Burt Bees materials, why in the entire hell aren't you? This is a lesson. The next time a new product comes about and they're targeting us and people in our community, how about this? Just go to their website. Look up their vice president. Look up their president. Look at their marketing people. They usually have these people posted on their websites. And if they don't have people in the big money positions that look like you, that are favorable to you, don't deal with them. Period. For those who don't know, there's a black dishwashing detergent company. There's a black toilet paper company. There's a black everything that you need. And you can over-index on that. Now, if you partial to Charmin or partial to Tide, then stay with them. But everything that you need is provided by somebody who looks like you. And in most cases, people who are taking the time out of their life to provide something for our community actually care about the community. And if they care about the community, then they care about you. If they care about you, you need to support them. Make things easier on yourself. Me personally, I've had the exact same bank account since like 1994. I mean, in 1984, my mom set up the account. At the time, it was First Chicago Bank. Then they became Bank One, and then they morphed into Chase Bank. 2 weeks ago, I opened up an account with One United Bank. I'm going to transfer all my funds to One United Bank. Only money I'm going to leave in my Chase account is the money that automatically comes out of my account for specific bills. I'm doing all my banking over there because I'm tired. I'm tired of accepting apologies. I'm not accepting anymore. I'm tired of people that look like me struggling. It's not going to happen anymore. There's a way to get out of this, but you have to be dedicated to removing yourself from oppression and tyranny. People in this country and the capitalistic society only understand capitalism, only understand the removal of funds. And if you're not willing to remove your funds to enhance your community, then suffer the consequences. That's it. That's it. It's a line from the great, most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Do for self and suffer the consequences. We have been suffering the consequences for God knows how long. So it's time to do for yourself. Period. That's the end of it. If you don't want to do it, I understand. You like the way things are. You like the fact that your schools are being underfunded. You like the fact that the police whooping on your head and whooping on, and you like the fact that if your brother, cousin, uncle, nephew, husband is out in these streets getting, if he get pulled over by the police, it might be the last time you talk to him. You like the fact that if your wife, sister, girlfriend, mother, aunt, grandmother, if they get pulled over by the cop, they might get Sandra Bland. No disrespect to the ancestor Sandra Bland. If you're comfortable with that, keep doing what you're doing. Because, see, it didn't happen to you, so I don't even see why you tripping, right? Right. Exactly. It's just something to think about, y'all. There's something to think about. We can sit around and hem and haw and jaw jack and do all that stuff that people say they're going to do, and we can make these fictitious plans on what we need to do and what we got to do and all this and all that. All you have to do is start communicating. You know what? You don't even have to leave outside your bloodline to fix this. If everybody start treating their family members like their relatives, like their family, not relatives, people that you relate to, your family. Treat your relatives like family. Treat your friends like family. Treat your neighbors like family. Man, in the back of the day, but I bet you, the very person, I'm not going to say her name, she's a supporter as well. I checked on it and she accepted it. She was writing on Facebook recently. It ain't like back in the day when Big Mom and them. I was like, you 50, you Big Mom and them. Shut up. You Big Mom and them now. You're 50. You somebody's grandmother. Put it together. You dissatisfied with no family reunions? Organize one. You dissatisfied with no Thanksgiving? Organize one. Or how about this? One no Thanksgiving this year, right? Juneteenth is coming. So stop investing in these created, fictitious holidays. There's a holiday that celebrates us in June. We can make it a week-long celebration. Let's say if the John come in on a Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, we can kick it off. We can kick it off Sunday, celebrate like Mardi Gras about Juneteenth, and have it culminate with a nationwide cookout day, and that be Black Thanksgiving, Juneteenth. And you invite your friends and family over to your house, throw a little Q on the grill, invite your friends and family over, and celebrate who you are. How about that? How about when schools start back, if we going in these buildings, how about everybody buy a t-shirt from your local high school that's for the people that look like you? How about you look like, I had Coach Card on here once. How about get people like Coach Carter and support the Chicago Demons and the Chicago football teams and the Chicago youth baseball teams and youth basketball teams? How about getting together with people like Coach Carter, find out how he put together the basketball team and put together a band? How about we start doing that? Instead of complaining, we can galvanize the community and put ourselves in a better situation. And with that being said, that's it, man. That's it for the evening. I'm HRap. I really appreciate you guys listening and supporting the network, Built for This Network. I really appreciate you supporting my show, The End of the Bench, Build and Destroy. It's been a blast. I need you guys to continue to support. Monday morning, the number one Chief Rock will be on the network. Entertainment recap show. It's going to be mad interesting. He talks about a myriad of things. He have a myriad of guests. He laughs. He jokes. He has a lot of fun. Tune in. Tuesday, Mad Knox. I'm not sure if he going to have an attack on hip hop or if he going to go with a theory. Either way, afternoon, Mad Knox will be on. Then in the evening, me, Big Illinois, and Joe will be on. The End of the Bench Sports. After that, Emma Rare Beauty will be on. Check out. Then Matt DeLeon and Gigi, they'll be on. Deacon Dale is Wednesday evening. Big Illinois is Wednesday night. Chief Rocker is Thursday morning again with the football recap show. Well, it's actually like the pregame joint. And then Friday, Mad Knox in the evening, Big Illinois at night. And in 165 and a half hours, I will be back in play. I was supposed to have a special guest tonight, but as you see, it was a no can do. I'm going to reach out to my next guest. And we going to see what's happening next week. And if not, I got more commentary for you. And that's just it. My man Sauce Money, Super MC out of Brooklyn, New York. He's supposed to be on next week. Hopefully he'll be on. I don't know if I'm going to do it off or on air. I'm going to reach out to Sauce and ask, do you want to get out? Still get out. He accepted the invitation. I'm looking at it now. But we'll figure it out. You know, it is what it is. Continue to show. Continue to support the network. As I do every week, I send a shout out to Combat Jack, the Podfather. He oversees the project from heaven. Rest in peace, Reggie O'Shea. And I end every show with this. Dream those dreams and man up and woman up and live those dreams, because life without dreams flows in black and white. Life with dreams flows in Technicolor surround sound. I want to thank each and every person in the chat room. If I didn't get around to saying hello to you, I really apologize. But it's a blast every week, man. I have a good time doing this, getting this stuff off my chest. Stuff that needs to be said, stuff that needs to be heard. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? I want you guys to stay tuned. I got some health and wellness for you. And remember, man, you can do it. Anything that's possible, anything, as the guy said at the pre-show, as you heard at the beginning, at the top of the show, he said, if it's a way, if you can achieve it, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. I'm going to use the line that Marcus Garvey used, our ancestor Marcus Garvey used, what Africans have done, Africans can do. What Africans have done, Africans can do. Never forget that, man, because if it has been done in the past, you can replicate that. And remember, before you do something purely for the money, remember, everything is permissible. Nobody can tell you what to do. But is it beneficial? Everything, shout out to Karen Hunter, shout out to Dr. Greg Carr, shout out to Larry Favors, shout out to my man Drew McCaskill, shout out to my man Lamont, man, I can't think his name. Lamont, whatever his name is, man. Yeah, his name is Lamont Hill. And good evening, family. Stay tuned. 2 fingers, 1 word. It's your man HRap. I'm out.
Yo, this is Big Illinois 73, host of the Backyard Podcast, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Time on the Built for This network. Check us out. Hosted by yours truly, with my panel, my fam. We got the sister Kim Webb, the brother Dre MC1, the brother Anuliel, and the brother HRap B. No topic is off limit. We laugh and joke. We get serious. Try to be informative. Check us out. Once again, that's the Backyard Podcast, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time. Let's go.
Greetings, brothers and sisters, family and friends. I'm your Minister of Wellness. In today's wellness segment, I want to go over the 8 benefits of pineapple. I've been getting a lot of questions about pineapple and their benefits. For those of you all who don't know, in my salad dressing that I use the pineapple in my salad dressing. So I will include that recipe in the description box of this video. Please like and share this video. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. All right, pineapples, they're loaded with nutrients. These are the medicine foods of God. They're loaded with, yes, they even have protein, carbs, fiber, vitamin C, manganese, vitamin B6, copper, thiamine, folate, not folic. No supplements with folic, brothers and sisters. You want folate. And that's what's available in the multivitamins, multi-minerals that I have here. Pineapples also contain trace amounts of vitamin A, K, phosphorus, zinc, and calcium. They are especially rich in vitamin C and manganese, providing 131% and 70%, 76% of the daily recommendations. Now, what about if I'm a diabetic? That's the question that many of you all have. Well, if you're diabetic, then you're probably going to have to, for now, eliminate the pineapple. But you can reverse your diabetes. Just get my Reverse Diabetes book, reverse it, and then you can enjoy all the pineapples you want. So that's the first benefit. Pineapples are a superfood. It's just that if you've eaten yourself into being a diabetic, then especially since they've hybridized the pineapples to be much sweeter than what they used to be. That's one of the main issues. But original wild pineapples, were not as sweet as what they are now, but they're still a superfood. Disease-fighting antioxidants that help combat oxidative stress, which is a state which, when there are too many free radicals in the body, that causes chronic inflammation, a weakened immune system, and harmful diseases. But God put medicines in pineapples known as flavonoids and phenolic acid. There are many of the antioxidants in pineapples abound. This allows the antioxidants to survive harsher conditions in the body and produce longer lasting effects. Pineapples, there are enzymes in pineapples that help with digestion. They contain a group of digestive enzymes known as bromelain. They function as proteases, which break down protein molecules into their building blocks, such as amino acid and small peptides. Once protein molecules are broken down, they are more easily absorbed across the small intestine. This can be especially helpful for people with pancreatic insufficiency, which is a condition in which the pancreas cannot make enough digestive enzymes. One study showed that participants with pancreatic insufficiency experienced better digestion after taking a digestive enzyme supplement. But however, instead of taking this supplement bromelain, you might as well consume pineapples. The whole food is always better. Remember, brothers and sisters, I do these videos because you all know one of the biggest complaints of the insane food zombie is there's nothing to eat. you're taking everything away. And that's not true. There's plenty to eat. It's just that people don't want to eat what we should be eating, and they throw a temper tantrum like a 2-year-old child when I simply teach them the truth. Number 4, pineapples help to reduce the risk of cancer. They did test tube studies that showed that, again, the enzyme bromelain suppresses cancer in the skin, bile duct, gastric system, and colon, among other areas. It stimulates the immune system to produce molecules that make white blood cells more effective at suppressing cancer cell growth and eliminating cancer cells. Pineapples boost the immune system, reduce inflammation. They ease symptoms of arthritis. They speed recovery after surgery and strenuous exercise. If you exercise a lot like me, fresh fruit such as pineapple is excellent because of the anti-inflammatory properties. This has been documented in several studies that pineapples reduce inflammation, swelling, bruising, and pain even after surgery. So when you're going through surgery, even that's why I say if you're going through chemotherapy or any type of surgery, the best thing you can do to speed up your recovery is eat the medicine foods of God. And they're delicious and they're easy to add. If you're diabetic and you can't enjoy pineapples, reverse it, and then you can enjoy it. Again, I'll put the salad dressing recipe. There's plenty of desserts. Make sure I have your email. Do I have your email? Go to the ministerofwellness.com. The box for your email should pop up so you can have recipes. And then join my Facebook group page. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. I post recipes Monday through Friday. There's nothing more delicious than a pineapple-based dessert. And I give those recipes out Monday through Friday. Join my Facebook group page. I can be healthy. I will be healthy. I must be healthy. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, The Minister of Wellness. Check that description box for the pineapple-based recipe. The ministerofwellness.com, ministerofwellness.com. You want to get one of the books so that it has recipes. All of these books have recipes and meal plans so that you can know how to take the medicine foods of God and how to develop a meal plan that you need. The ministerofwellness.com. If you need help with placing an order, any questions, comments, or concerns, call 888-847-8026, 888-847-8026. All right, brothers and sisters, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. Until next time, I know you will live a long life in excellent health. It can, it will be yours.
We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak.